Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
आशायां बध्यते लोकः कर्मणा परिपद्यते आयुः क्षयं न जानामि तस्मात् जाग्रत जाग्रत. We are bound by expectations and various activities and excess thinking. So much so that we do not recognize that life is ebbing away. Therefore, be alert and be awake. Tasmat jagrata jagrata.
Anyone has anything to talk about? Their own experience, sadhana, comments, anything? Anything to report?
Today has two significance. One is, we all know Ramanaji's Mahanirvana Day, as well as today is Tamil New Year Day.
Yes.
Tamil New Year. So I always remember this day as two in one.
Yes.
Because there's two important things. One is we all celebrate the New Year, but it is that living presence that is more important. Living presence of Maharshi. That presence. It's no more than anything you cannot describe. It is the presence, very presence. I don't have any better word than the very presence. So possibly take this as a clue and proceed, Dr. Sanjay.
If you see Bhagavan, and I think we are very fortunate because we cannot take Bhagavan as a body, because we never saw him as a body. We always saw him as awareness only. So we are very fortunate that we acknowledge Bhagavan as Bhagavan is. While the people who were living, for them, he was in a body form and then he left that body form. For us, he is always the same self. We and Bhagavan are not at all different. He, ourself as a grace to us, came in front of Bhagavan's teachings to tell us that what we are in our purest form, in our purest way. And this is what I think when we say today is Bhagavan's Mahanirvana Divas, this is the day when he left the mortal coil, or the mortal coil left him. He stayed there where he is, in everyone's heart. And if we understand this thing, that he was never a body, then how can we be the body? And as we know, Panch Koshas of the body, which also include mind. Body has come because of mind only. Mind and body, mind is first, body is second. Because there were desires, the body has come into being, and the desires were where? In form of thought. Where? In the mind. So if this mind and body, which is only part of the matter, if we treat it as an object and unconcerned with this object, then we all are what Bhagavan was, Bhagavan is, and will always be. That pure awareness. Don't make it intellectual understanding. Don't make it like a sentence from a scripture. You have to have this own experiential understanding of it. And that is why I say that we need to behave like awareness rather than a body-mind complex. And how your behavior should change. By just knowing it, you will change. I'll give you an example. You are pure awareness who is just uninvolved, who is not a doer. And then you see the body doing something, a thought coming and the body is acting. Let it do. Let that thought come and the body act on that thought. But you don't move your position. You don't step down from the pedestal. You are the king. The king is sitting topmost, and then there is his secretary. His mind is doing something. He does not have to step down. He can stay there. He can be a witness to what is happening. The mind will report him back. Don't worry. He's the secretary. He's the first secretary to you. He will report back to you. You don't have to step down and behave like a secretary. You stay as what you are, uninvolved witness, unconcerned witness. And also not making any choice. Let the body make its choice. The most beautiful thing about this body is it is making choice all the time as whatever intuitively it has been assigned work. Don't think that in pure awareness you will be like a vegetable. No. If the body is assigned 1001 tasks, it will perform all those tasks before you as awareness will leave the body. So it doesn't matter whether body does something, body does. Actually, when we are a doer, we are always concerned about this question that who will pay my mortgage, or if I am awareness, then these fear of only of the mind. Because if you get established in what you are, that is death of the mind. Mind is ticking because of your interest. Otherwise, there is no power of the mind. Mind is insentient object. It has no life. You are giving life to it. And how you are giving life to it is by your interest in it. You are so much interested in mind talk, all that gossip, that because of your interest it's going on. Otherwise, it has no astitva of its own, no existence of its own. And how can you switch off? By just taking away the interest from it and just staying as an attention, staying as an awareness, paying attention to awareness. Here we are using a technique. Here we are using the mind. Attention, what is looking within, is also that mind, attention of the mind within, but not towards object, not towards things. To recognize who you are. At least this much of practice you need to do. But let's say your understanding is so profound, then no practice is needed. Because you are always that awareness. By some intuition, by some pointer, if you are 100% convinced that you are pure awareness which is uninvolved, then no practice is needed. Practice is only for a mind which is so much extrovert, which has so many desires and attachments, who has so many concepts and beliefs. Even a mind which has so many concepts, beliefs, desires, attachment, but if that understands and everything drops, then you are free at this moment. Who is binding you? Nothing but you only. So the freedom is always there. It's only we think that we are doing something, and unless we do, things will not happen. It is just a wrong myth which we all are suffering from. It is a myth. It is a wrong concept. Let everything fall. Let everything be a big failure. Let's just accept whatever comes. Can we stay like that for maybe a minute and let mind talk continue, but we are not interested in it. The moment you stop listening to the mind also stop talking to you. So there is more space, there is more emptiness, there is more contentment and peace. Mind is always talking to the one who is interested in mind. If you are full of thoughts, that means there are still a lot of desires and attachments there. And how to sort out all those desires and attachment? You don't have to sort out anything. You just have to be what you are. For a moment, you forgot what you are. You always thought that you are this body mind. And these are the things on your bucket list you have to fulfill. I remember when I turned 40, I was at an airport and there was a book, and the things which you should do when you turn 40. I don't know why I bought that book. Maybe there was no other book better than that. I have never read that book actually. But what is this bucket list of things? It never ends, Then there is a book that things to be done when you are 50, then 60, then 70, and you will be gone by the time the next book you will read, Things never end. There are so many things. It is like a bazaar, it's a marketplace. This world is a marketplace.
It was in Hong Kong. Our Chinmayaji was there, and one reporter came and asked him a question. He had a big list, and he was asking, how far away is anyone from God? The reply was, the longer the list, you are farther away from God.
Very true. Yeah. God and we are not different. There is no God on somewhere else, sitting somewhere else. Yeah, the more we are looking outwardly, we don't know we are. If we sit in contemplation with our own self. So this self-love, self-attention, self-abidance is all what we have to look within. But what the problem is, we always think we are this mind, and unless we sort out all those issues, we cannot reach within. And we have to sort out these all issues because they are my issues. My kids, my family, my job, my mortgage, my body, my health. This my never ends. One life is short. That's why we take millions of births. Because it never ends. It's a vicious circle. We definitely need a knock on the head. Someone should say, come on, let's just stop now. Enough of drama. But nobody says because everyone is running in this race. Everyone is busy. Everyone is trying to achieve something, thinking that this is the most important thing for him. You think what you are doing is more important? Most important? Everyone is thinking the same. Not just the president or the prime minister of the country. Everyone. Everyone is their own prime minister and president of their life. For them, they are the most important people, and what they are doing is the most important thing. And there is a conspiracy theory happening in everyone's life. How can you get out of it? We have created this web of mind. Nobody else can help you. Even a guru cannot help you. He can only tell you that this is the problem, sort it out. Believe on my words. It is the direct method, simple method. Nothing can be as direct as this. Just before the meeting, I was talking to my old friend who is doing yoga for many years, and I was saying, look, with all, respect to yoga, because I also teach yoga. I'm a yoga teacher. I teach twice a week. But if you just focus on the body all your life, how can you go beyond body? And then he said beautiful thing that there are 8 limbs of yoga. Last one is only dharana, dhyan, samadhi. But if we keep doing ashtanga yoga with postures, how can we move? And who has to move? then question comes, who has to move? And if you understand, if you are counting the right number of people within you, you know that there is only one which is aware of whole drama, and that is the only one. And that is what you are. If you count that person as one and stay with that one, then job is done. Then ego, mind, intellect, body doesn't matter. Let where they are not you. You are mixing two very different things: consciousness, awareness, God principle in you. It is formless, it is nameless, it is eternal. It is only the energy in the body what you are. You are the energy, you are not a form. Though the form is interacting in this world, but you have no form, and you have no name, and you have no language. You have no parents. All parents, all beings, everything belongs to you only. All comes, rises and goes down in your awareness only. Remember your dream. At night when you dream, you have your parents in dream, kids in your dream, friends in your dream. Ask them next day, where were they? They were all in your dream, but they will say, no, they were in a movie theater or they were sleeping in their own bed. They were not in that country. How they landed up all in your dream as real beings? What happened? And then you don't question this. And when the dream is over, you just accept it. This is the dream which we are all in. And we believe in this dream, that's why the dream is going on. And the dream, believe in dream is attachment to this dream, desires in this dream. Because this dream will continue till you like. This is the difference between this dream and the dream at night. To switch off this dream, you have to switch off your desires and attachments and bring your attention to the pure awareness what you are. That is why to stop this dream is so difficult, because on one side you want to end this dream. You want to get out of this maya jal, this illusion. On other hand, next moment you want to achieve something in this world. So one step here and two steps outward. One step in, two step out. How can the journey can finish? And how far is pure awareness from you? You are pure awareness. You are only jumping out of it, looking for things, moving out. Awareness is as it is. You are that. It's none other than you. But you think you are the mind, and what the mind is saying, you are following the mind. You are in devil's hand. You are devil's advocate. Whatever the mind says, you believe in it. And the world, what you see around you, that is also your creation, your mind's creation. All relationships or all whatever is happening in life. Exactly like your own dream. The moment you stay as awareness, everything drops. Nothing bothers. Actually, nothing is bothering even when there is a mind. What is happening? Like, let's say a thought comes that you are stupid. Let it be. This birth was for a stupid person to be a stupid. It was just a role. Let it be. When you are nameless, formless awareness, whatever the body is, it is. How does it matter? We didn't create this body. Why we should be ashamed of this body or proud of this body? Or whatever the job or incomplete job, and we are not very fit into the job. Let it be. This is the way the role is. Unfit role. Don't try to make it idealistic and work. I'm not saying no, you don't have to work. The body will work the way it has to. If you are really highly accomplished person, it will be that identity will be like that. And if it's not like that. If you are retired, you are retired. If you are in job, you are in job. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Whatever the role is, the body is playing that role. Let it play its role. But you know that you are not playing any role. You are just pure awareness, nameless and formless, witnessing whatever is happening. Once you understand this and you stay as awareness, whoever comes in your life, whatever happens, whatever thought comes, no one can move you back into mind mode. Believe me. It is a path of no return. Tomorrow, instead of satsang, someone takes you to a party. Or someone takes you into a very indulgence area. Nothing will change. Or you get $1 million lottery and nothing will change. Nothing. The moment you have given up your friendship with your mind, nothing can touch you. You have transcended the time and space the moment you have given up friendship with your mind. Nothing can entice you. No one can corrupt you. No one can taint you. They can put you in jail. People can put wrong allegations against you, but nothing matters. Because the body might go into jail. Allegations might be on the body. People might say bad things about the body. Who will get affected? No one. It would be a play in this manifestation in which it might happen this way with this body. The one who cares about the body is the fake identity called as ego. That is just a wrong concept when we think we are this body-mind complex. We are pure awareness always, even before the birth and even after the death of the body and during the body also. We in our purity have not been given any tasks to be done. The body came into being because some stupid person, instead of awareness, thought he is that person. And because of the desires, the body came into manifestation. But now you are knowing it. Now your eyes are open, wide open. You are awake. You know the gross mistake you have done. But now you know what you are. Just stay there. Be still. All the storm of the mind and the intellect and the emotions, let it be. Let the tsunami continue. For how long? You have taken away the power of attraction to that. You are not involved. With some momentum, it will continue, but then the train has to stop. How long that momentum will last? So your sadhana is just to be patient. If you are impatient, you are spoiling everything. Because what happens when we are impatient? Who is then impatient? The ego, which still thinks he is mind-body complex. That can be impatient. Awareness is always awareness. It was always that the same awareness. How can it be impatient? And impatient with whom? All the forms rises and sinks in the pure awareness. Innumerable number of forms, everything. You are completely lost in this awareness the moment you give up your I thought. It's like all the rivers flow into the ocean. Once they are in ocean, they have no name, no form. Or you can say all the name and forms are they only. So who is there, who is mine, who is not mine? No one is mine or everyone is mine. Both are same. Because at the end, it's only awareness flowing, all pervading awareness. None other than you. Then why you are so attached to this small body mind complex, which is losing, you are losing all the time. It is towards deathbed, almost towards deathbed. Every second it is dying. You know the Shankaracharya movie, that Sanskrit movie which I mentioned, and I think James saw that movie. Shankaracharya has two friends, death and knowledge, extreme knowledge. So so death is our friend all the time. If you see symbolically also, death will come to the body. Definitely it will come. This is guaranteed, without exception. But before death comes, get that knowledge. Then death cannot touch you. But if the death comes first, then the process starts again. Don't waste time. Nilakantanji, what he said about Vairagya, what I understood was that the time is the only thing which you have very, very limited. It's moving out very, very fast. Very fast. That is the only thing which we have in limited amount. So people say that a lot of people procrastinate, they can't finish their task. So they say write down most important priority, then the second most important priority, and not that important. Categorize your task. Take liberation, self-abidance as number 1 to number 10. Don't put it on number 4 or 5, mortgage number 1, then doing PhD number 2, then number 3 this. I'll tell you another 100 lives are less, because desires never end. That is the game you are trapped in. Understand this. This is the trap of the Maya. And it is by the permission of the Supreme God. He has created this game. It is a Leela actually. Once you know, you will laugh on it. It's like a maze. The mind, what is mind's job? It keeps giving you this, and you don't like this, okay, do this. You don't like this, do this. You don't like this, do this. Which game do you want to play? Thousands of games. What food do you want to eat? Millions of foods. Which place do you want to visit? So many places. Whom do you want to have friends? So many people. Whom do you want to be enemy? So many enemies. What type of job? So many jobs. What type of worries? Thousands of worries. Nothing ends. In this samsara, nothing ends. Only you end. And the samsara continues. The word continues. You only finish. And then you take another birth. And then you continue again. And it just keeps going on. It's a roller coaster ride. It never ends. You have to get out of it.
It's a famous slogan by Adi Shankara. He calls life as Vidyat Chalam Jeevitam. Like lightning, it will go away. Just like a lightning time, life goes away. So please be careful. Please be careful. Again and again, we have to remember that it's just the lightning time. Only that time is left. So as to give us that kind of priorities as a top priority. Only that I'm going to deal with. Nothing else matters.
Nothing else should matter. Put all your attention. Kabir has said a beautiful doha. I will say in Hindi and then I'll translate. Pani kera budbuda asmanus ki jaat, dekhat hi छिप जाएगा जो tara prabhat. Man's life is like a bubble in water. It comes and goes. It is like a star which rises only in morning, and as soon as the sun rises, it goes away. Just for very short duration. If you see life on earth, millions, billions of years, what is the lifespan of a human being? 100 years. Not everyone reaches 100 years also. People even die young. And how many people remember to do this? Tell me how many people are attending satsang, how many people are not even bothered about it. Life after life after life. So what is the grace to you? This is your grace. That you know that this is important. That you know that you are practicing for it. Then what is left? Nothing left. Now just have patience and it will do the job. But stick to it. Remember the stillness within you. Remember the pure presence. And give away this person, this personality, this identity. Don't worry about it. Leave it wherever it is. Whatever people think or not think about it. You don't think about it. How it looks or how it does not look, who cares? It is not you. Remember this. When you remember you are not this, then what bothers you? And when nothing bothers you, then the mind has to drop. See the life of people who lived a life of self-abidance and see how much work they have done. How much work was being done by them. Not one person, there are thousands of them. So don't worry about the work. Bhagavan's teaching, the first step is action never gets you free. Action, fruits of action give rise to more action. Let the body do action. You just stay detached. Don't own this body. Don't be the owner of this body. You are living in this body. That's more than enough. Have gratitude for it. Be thankful that the body is okay. That's okay. Don't misuse, don't abuse. Just keep doing what the body is doing. Just be attentive to this awareness. You have nothing else to do except paying attention to what you are. Because you are that what you are, paying attention is the effort or practice you are doing just for some time till you are completely detached from the mind. So the second thing which will help you in this process is your desirelessness, your detachment, your disinterested actions. That will definitely, if you are still interested in things, then all this talk is nonsense. How would it help you if you are jumping on into the ego mode, doer mode? Then all this talk is wasteful, because on one hand you want to be awareness, the other hand you are just jumping on in indulgence. If you want to end this dream, then you have to stop being a dreamer. This whole Maya, this all is going on because there is someone in us who believes he is the body-mind. He is the doer. And he has strong likes and dislikes. In Patanjali, this is the beautiful thing. They use the term strong likes and dislikes. Like a mild likes and dislike doesn't trap you. It is the strong likes and dislikes which trap you. It's not like if you like, jalebi, you will be trapped. It's not like that. You can still enjoy some jalebi, but it is the strong likes, more of emotional, about people, about race, about this, about that. On a lighter tone, you can talk about things, but strong, we all know what is a strong likes and dislikes. If you want to have a lukewarm water with lemon in it because you think it's good for your digestion, it is not like it's a strong desire. It's okay. We all know what desires means. When any obstruction to the desire comes, we are angry, full of anger. That is desire. So stay in that neutral throughout the day. So this practice of self-abidance is not a practice of half an hour or 10 minutes or 1 hour. It is till you are completely detached. Starting from morning you wake up till you go to bed and get into your sleep or dream. If the whole day you stay as a detached witness, the most beautiful things happens at night. You watch a dream, and even in dream you are awareness. You are watching the dream as a detached witness. And then comes the deep sleep. And in deep sleep again you are pure awareness. Here you are what you are. And that is the reason a sage is in its purest form in deep sleep. In his reality, not in waking state like us, because here the mind is there, though he is not involved in mind, but still there is some impurity. Deep sleep is the most purest state for a sage and also for us if we are aware, because awareness doesn't sleep. Body needs sleep, mind needs sleep, not the awareness. We are not the body, we are not the mind, we are that pure awareness which transcends all these three states of sleep, dream, and deep sleep. They call it Turiya, Turiyatit. That is our real state all the time. Because we are so much involved in the mind, we don't know Turiyatit, which is always bliss. Whether you are awake, whether you are dreaming, or whether you are in deep sleep, that never changes. It is unchanging, always the same. It never knows past or future. It is always the same, always present. Past and future is only the concept of the body and the story in the mind. Because the mind sees the body was this and then it has changed. The world around us is changing and it is a time concept. Awareness is beyond time and space. No Indian or Chinese or Tamil New Year, nothing for it. Every moment is new. Every moment is fresh.
Ever new joy.
Today, I saw a lady in her 30s. She's admitted for last few weeks in hospital in psych ward. And she told me that my problem is I don't have mind, no thoughts. I said, then what is there? She said, blank. And I'm really anxious because I have lost my personality. I can't find where I am. I said, what you have achieved, people spend their lives after lives to be that state. You are Buddha. You have achieved what people want to achieve. Why you are worried about it? She said, somehow I've lost my identity. She's looking for it and she's admitted in psych ward. I said, just be happy with it. I said, well, is it causing anxiety, depression? She said, no, I'm anxious where it is. I've lost myself. Sometimes people achieve, sometimes people reach there and they don't know and then they get lost. That is why sometimes traditional knowledge, scriptures, guru, satsang, all these are really important, because if something like this happens to you, at least there's someone to tell you, yes, this is what it is. You get the diamond and you lose the diamond because you don't know that it was diamond. We have trusted mind so much that we think without thoughts we can't live. And not just thoughts, we follow these thoughts. We take thoughts as reality. Thoughts is the reality which is creating this world in front of us, not the real reality. Be devoted to that silence within rather than thoughts. Be the slave of silence, and then the mind will become your slave. But if you follow the mind, then you cannot be the silence, and you will be the slave of the mind. At least this much choice you have. When anyone asks Bhagavan that what is free will, he said, this is the free will. To abide in self is your free will. Rest who bothers? You know, Bhagavan was the most smart teacher I have ever seen. He never wanted us to believe there is free will in this life. Because let's say Bhagavan has said to you, yes, you have free will. I don't want to name, but a lot of teachers nowadays, they say we have free will and it's all crap, that there's no free will. And some countries like India have gone down because they never believed on free will and all this. But I'll tell you why. If let's say Bhagavan would have said, for an example, that yes, you have free will, then what you would be, you would have just destroyed your life. Being an egoistic mind, you would have continued what doing. Yes, free will, I have to improve my life. I have got only $1 million, I have to make $10 million. Whether free will is not there or not, but yes, for a sadhaka, it is a very good, it is a vardhan, it is a blessing, there is no free will. Then at least you can leave aside whatever body has to go through and can focus on awareness. Otherwise, how can you be free if there is a free will? You will keep improving because now yes, I have to do this because there is a free will. Now I can live in a $1 million house, Nowadays every house is $1 million, but let's say $20 million house. So what is free will, Free will is a trap. I'm talking this only for people who still are trapped in destiny and free will game. I'm just trying to explain. Even Bhagavan would have said free will, how it would be a disaster for you. It's good that he said there is no free will. The only free will you have to abide in self or not abide in self. Let's practice that. Let's leave everything. So he has actually asked us to be free from all the work and just be there. You know how much importance Bhagavan always used to give to this only one aim in life, to be free. There were people living with him at that time who were one of the best intelligent, educated people. He had all types of people. I'm not saying everyone was very intelligent, but some were very accomplished people. One of these guys who actually discovered fountain pen or did something really big. I don't remember his name. He was from Bombay. He got a job in government of India after independence on a very big position, and he got that letter of appointment. He showed it to Bhagavan. And you know how Bhagavan used to say? He never used to say yes or no. No was he kept quiet. So this guy torn away the appointment letter and stayed there. What is important? This ongoing unfolding of this drama is important. Let's say now the President of America asks you to be the Secretary of State or something, and leave aside all this, what you're looking into, self-abidance. Would you go for that, or you will still continue your path, or do you think that's a big chance you will not miss it? Abiding in
Sanjay?
self. Yes, Amit?
When Krishna was Arjuna and Krishna, they were in the battlefield, and even in the battlefield, the self-abidance, Bhagavad Gita, self-abidance was there. So in the context of being offered opportunities, jobs, why not go with it, take it, because you can always self-inquire in any situation. So it is like that. There's an element of taking what's in front of you, but being conscious that that isn't all of you.
I didn't get you. Can you repeat it
So
again?
what I meant, like, let's say you have a job opportunity, a government post that you mentioned. If that gentleman had taken it, he would still be able to do self-inquiry and staying within the abiding in the self. So doing jobs, doing things is still okay. It's still okay in the sense of not. You shouldn't focus on the will isn't to, let's say, be greedy or get more money. It isn't that. It's more, there's a profession, but you can still do your work. You could still be a householder and still abide. So what I mean, so it's a what I'm trying to say here is your will shouldn't be that you increase your personal fortune. But we are householders, so it's okay to work. It's okay to get that job. It's okay not to be greedy, but it's okay to accept that. And then still within that environment, you can still think constantly of abiding in the self.
Look, I'm not against that person should not do a job, or doing a job is against. But the example what I told you was, this guy was living for many years with Bhagavan at Ramana Ashram. I'm not sure about his financial situation, because at Ramana Ashram everyone was getting food. No one was being asked to pay anything. So you don't need money to stay there. And who knows best than Bhagavan with whom he was staying? That he should stay.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. And not everyone even took Bhagavan's advice. There were people who came to him and then left. And then Bhagavan said after they left that this guy has to take a full circle, He will do some yoga, he will do some japa, and then he might have to come back.
Come back.
So each to his own, But that there are people who will listen to a guru or a teacher, and then there are others who might not listen to him. And the same thing with the job. If the job comes to you in a way, it's your destiny. Even if you want to reject it, you have to do it, even if you don't want to do it.
There was another person with Maharshi called T.K. Sundaresh Iyer. He was a primary school teacher, but he continued his job and lived with Maharshi. And Maharshi used to remind him, "Hey, it's 9 o'clock. You have to be in the school." So one day the headmaster was standing outside, waiting for Sundaresh Iyer to come, and he told, "Did Bhagavan remind you it's 9 o'clock? That's why you're coming." So there are persons who have combined this also with this one. But what Sanjay says is it depends on your situation. And the particular situation when he was with Maharshi, he wanted to be with Maharshi, so there is no question of being bribed or being attracted by something which gives
you don't.
no money.
No, I mean, if I was fortunate enough to be in front of Bhagwan, I would make the same thing. I would be with Bhagwan. It was more, there were other people who said, shall I leave my family and come here? Shall I be a sannyasi? And it was more that context, which is you don't need to be a sannyasi. You can carry on like Bhagwan. When I mentioned this to my wife, she loves Bhagwan because Bhagwan always said, be with your family. You don't need to leave your family. You don't need to go to Himalayas. You can do your day-to-day activities and still abide. And that is important. Whereas my wife doesn't like Buddha because he left his family.
So most of the wives don't like Buddha.
so that
it is again a prarabdha karma. That is what people who wanted to leave their family and wanted to live with Bhagwan, they actually gave Bhagwan's example in front of him. They said, you left your home and you don't want us to leave our home. He said, because if it is in your prarabdha, you would have left already. Like destiny, that is what he's saying. If destiny was to leave home, then you would have already left. But please don't leave. Stay with your family and do your work and then keep doing your sadhana. And I think we are no one to judge anyone, whether it's Buddha, whether it's Bhagwan, whether someone who's a grasta, living in family and achieving it, because each to his own. And look, family life or a job is not an obstacle, but on the other hand, I find that it speeds up your journey because you have very limited time. You do work, you go to work, you look after your family. And then when whatever time is left, you have such an intense desire, a focus on going within that it works, it does wonders. When we go to Tirunamalai from here and we stay there for 3 nights, each and every moment you want to just absorb there. Sometimes the people who are living there, they are washing their dishes and they're playing and they're doing and their business. Maybe they don't have that much of intensity which you have in 3 days. So that is the other thing. That actually power of those 3 days staying there makes you so much into it. Same thing is the whole day we are busy with work and family, and then whatever 1 hour, 2 hours to deeply contemplate it. It actually, I think it helps more than if you're sitting idly not doing anything. Maybe you might not be that much deeply involved even in your sadhana. Who knows? So I think everything is fine. And that is the way, if you accept your own situation as it is the best situation for your own upliftment, then the job is done, because you're not giving any task to the mind to be impatient. The biggest issue with the sadhaka is that they become impatient and they think, oh, it's not happening to me, and it's frustrated. Because all what is frustrated is ego only. It is like mind showing false tears, Mind has nothing to show. Awareness is always there. So the middleman who is crying, they are like crocodile tears, That has to go. The one who is crying that I'm not getting will never get. Because that one is the obstacle. That has to go. So the beautiful thing is that paying attention to this neutral in us, which does not own the body, does not own the mind, does not own anything. and does not engage in any type of desires rise out of thoughts that this next and this. And we all know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just a simple thing, but things which disturb mind and then cause ripples in this deep ocean of peace. We all know that peace. We have all touched that peace so many times. But we all want to abide in that peace eternally, and we don't want to be the wave. The waves are only of desires, our attachments, our concepts, our beliefs. And when I say our means of this ego mode. If you sit in silence and let everything and anything happening in this opening up, gradually everything settles. Even if you want to disturb and want to create a wave, no wave comes unless there is an ego. Ego is the criminal inner, that I thought, that I amness, the ahem bhav, that has no reality. When you pay attention to the awareness, that the fire of that knowledge of that awareness finishes it away. Otherwise, all other methods, I don't know, they might be really good, but I think this is the direct, simple method. And grace of Shiva, Arunachala, grace of Bhagavan, grace of Satsang, power of all these words, what he has said. If you get lost, go back to a simple book, Who Am I? Nan-Yar. Go through a simple text, few pages, read it again. I have never seen such a direct teaching as Bhagavan. That's why I say buck stops here. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to follow anything. And where is this Bhagavan in all of us? He is in our heart. Our true self is Bhagavan. So this is the purest teaching without any adulteration. And the good thing is that this teaching is not 500 years old or 5,000 years old. He was in a body form, he said, a lot of people recorded it. Even his written words are there in Tamil, in Sanskrit. At one given time, there were like 3 or 4 people have written the talks. You can compare the notes. So nothing is being adulterated. With Buddha and Jesus and Ram and Krishna, you can say that thousands of years back, I don't know who has written what. Here, this is such a purest of teaching, just happened recently. It is the cream of all. You don't have to go through Upanishads and so many texts, and you have to learn Sanskrit for it. You don't have to. If you learn Sanskrit and Tamil, that is good. You will learn another language. Maybe it would be really nice to read those texts in their original format. But in pure English, things are so easy, simple. And the technique is so easy. Stay as that awareness. And everything will dissolve what it is not. And it is unfolding, it is changing. I have not seen one person who is the same when we started Satsangs a year ago, or maybe longer than that. But everyone is changing, and I am not saying we all are coming from different journeys and, practices. And who knows more than you? Even if you want to compare, even let's say you have 0.1% of ego left, check yourself what you used to. At least now there are so many you can stop. You're not getting like a dynamite about small things and things. A lot of things don't matter. So maybe there's a small unfinished task left, and it's happening. It's going on slowly. So on this day, this is a day to remind us that Bhagavan is within us, in us. We are that Bhagavan, none other than us. God, Guru, and Self is the same, isn't it? Let's sit with that Self in that pure awareness. Give respect to that Self in pure silence. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.